Hello, it's me again, and I'm back with another bullet journal flip through. Now, it's been quite a while since I've done one of these, but this bullet journal lasted me from January 2019 all the way to October 2019, so that was 10 months worth, and I actually took a 3-month break somewhere through there. This specific bullet journal I got from Chapters. Actually, I technically got it as a Christmas or birthday gift, but this was from Chapters. It is a Paper Blanks 240-page notebook. I don't remember the dimensions, but it is larger than your basic bullet journal, like Leuchtturm bullet journal. It has 3 different lines, and it does have a pocket at the back, which is really helpful. And of course, it has its index at the front. I actually only used 2 pages this time instead of all 3, which was crazy. And then it was 2019, and I did this really cool watercolor art. I really liked how it turned out. Then I did my basic monthly walkthrough, so really just the whole year at a glance. So it had the little calendars, and then each day what was going on. And then I have my moon calendar and my reading list, and I really did not do a lot of reading this year, and I'm really upset about it. Then I had my travel plans / everywhere I really went this year. I feel like I went more places, I just forgot to fill it in, but oh well. Then I had my Leo list. And then it was January. This is actually the one intro page that I actually despise. Like, I really don't like how this turned out. I was in a really weird place in January, and even when I did it, I hated this, and I just ignored it ever existed. Then I have my gratitude and my habit tracker. I just typically stop doing habit trackers in general, but yeah. And I had my mood tracker, and I really love how this turned out. Like, I love this. It was so gorgeous. And I have my sleep log, which I proceeded to do pretty much every month. And my calendar, which clearly I didn't get much done, even though I had plenty of ideas. Then I had one of the first weeks. I took a lot of inspiration from Pinterest at the beginning of 2019. Really, what I wanted to get into with my bullet journal was really to just start bullet journaling whatever pages I wanted to do whenever, not really thinking about theme at first. And eventually I found myself getting into themes again, which was fine, but for the beginning it was nice to have no commitment, you know? This is my next week. I really love this. This is a quote from The End of the Effing World on Netflix. It says, "To be mad in a deranged world is not madness, it's sanity." And I really love how this turned out. Then I have my package tracker, so anytime I ordered anything, and as always, I need a brain dump somewhere. Then I have my social media tracker and bullet journal inspiration. I didn't really use it much, but it was there. Then I did a YouTube week, which was weird, but I liked it. That was me tracking my school money, which I didn't end up have to do. And I did some Asa Butterfield films and Anthony Boyle films and a bunch of TV shows. I didn't actually finish watching or start watching many of these, but I still transferred these over into my new bullet journal. This is probably one of my favorite pages in this bullet journal. I think it looks really good. Originally, I just wanted it to be black and white, but then I thought adding a little bit of color with the stars was really cool, and I love how it turned out. Contrary-wise, I hate this page, so moving on. And I did a little bit of a plant care thing, which I thought was cute, but wasn't really necessary. And then February arrived. This was highly inspired by some Pinterest posts, along with my mood tracker for that month. I kind of went for a space theme without really wanting to, but I did anyway. So I have my brain dump, and I have my gratitude log the same way that I did it probably in 2017, April. And I just kind of went for it, did some pages, some weeks. I had a bunch of tracking my hours just because more weeks. And then I had like a whole schedule for my dog's Instagram, which by the way is at hazel.eyedpup. I love her so much. She's a sweetheart. And then this little poem that I would say to myself sometimes to help me fall asleep. I really like these. And then it was March, and I didn't do that much in March. I set up the month, which I really like. It was tarot cards, and it was the moon and the spaceship, and it was really exciting because I was about to go to space camp. But I didn't get very far because I set everything up, so I had my mood tracker in the form of potion bottles, I had a sleep log and whatnot. Because then I started my space camp journal. And this is when I took my 3-month break, because it literally took me 3 months to write 50 pages of my space camp journal. So I'm just gonna flip through that real quick. I wrote out the whole thing, every last experience I could remember. Just because it was so important to me, and I loved every part of it, and I really didn't expect to. I had a blast. It was a life-changing experience, truly, and I would recommend it to anyone who has the chance to go to a space camp. I got to meet so many people from all around the world, and they are some of my now favorite people and best friends that I still keep in contact with. It was truly, truly amazing. My opportunity. There we go. And then it was June, and this is when I started doing bullet journal videos again. This is when I started doing videos point final again. And this month I did a theme of cards. It was really interesting. If you want more in-depth, then I will link all of the bullet journal videos that I've done correlated to this bullet journal up until now down below, and probably in the cards as well. I really liked this. Some of the pages aren't my favorite, but some of them look really cool at the same time. I even wrote out the whole Infinity Saga because I wanted to watch all of the movies before going to see Endgame. I had my whole YouTube plan. And then it was July, and I thought this month was really cute with all the clouds and whatnot, although towards the end I feel like I slacked a little bit. Then it was August, and I feel like these colors were really fun. I had a lot of fun playing with all the different fruits for August. I had my gratitude in 2 columns as well this time, which was interesting. Technically, you guys have seen all of this already, just not completed, I guess. Oh, I was supposed to do a Niagara Falls page here. I guess I just kept on forgetting. And then I started actually doing some journaling, which was very enlightening. I liked it. It was part of my self-care series. And I left one more page in case I wanted to continue writing before September. I don't know what my theme was, but I liked it. It was like spirituality almost. So this brings us way back to January, where we had the mountains. For like the spirituality stuff, I even did like when the different phases of the moon were, and I did a fun little playlist because I felt like it. I felt like doing something different in my bullet journal. And I really, really, really took my time with September. I did a daily spread instead of weekly spreads, so every single day of September had its own page, which is with its own little journal, its own note of the day and whatnot. And I even had like a week at the glance at the beginning of each week. And I don't know, I really liked it like that. Every day had its little keepsake, you know? A little something to remember the day by. And then it was October, and I actually just published this video, so I know this one is also up. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I actually did some Dutch doors, which was really fun, and I compressed my daily spreads into a weekly spread, but always using that the hourly chart, which was super helpful, and I still figure out a way to put it in my spreads now. And then I worked all the way up until the very last page, because when I start a bullet journal, I always make a pen test right at the beginning. So this was the very last page that I had left, where I did a note of the day. And yes, that is my January 2019 all the way to October 2019, 10 months of bullet journaling in this. I have now moved on to this one, and that is the one you are going to be seeing in the next video. See you then.